So yeah, welcome everybody to part 4 again. Yeah, let me introduce myself to you all. My name is FL and welcome to my channel. And this is day 4 of me learning Roblox Studio until I don't know when. Okay, so yeah, welcome for you guys who watch live or replay. But before we start, I'm gonna say that my ex is just got unbanned, and I think we should post our second post in here because I ever post my first post in here, and yeah, it should be good. Okay, before that, I need to see the what? Um, because UI UI stuff, blah 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 blah. Maybe I should download Figma though. Figma, yeah. Wait a minute, okay? I need to download my Figma first. But before that, I need you guys to see what I just built. So I just built a coin collector in here, and it's working perfectly, and I love it. I really love it because I do it. I do it and I learn it. I mean, like, I need more repetition on this type of stuff, but yeah, I think I get the basic though. I think. Look at that. So, when your chances to go to player 2, and yeah, it's not debugging again, and I think it's cool though. Look at that. Look at that. Yay, okay. I think it's done. And I need to post that on my X. Let me just post it right here. What's the point of that? Paid course, first from engineer cloud. Okay, let's just continue building it, but yeah, I'm just gonna say that I finished learning about how to make coin collector. Here's take a look. Okay, we put this, and we put another image, a picture, screenshot, go through here and go here, load. Oh yeah. Okay, let's continue the journey, people. Oh yeah, I need to download Figma Windows. Download for Windows. Figma setup. Okay. I need to set up my Figma first, okay? Wait a minute, people. And yeah, we're going to learning the next one, learning the next things I want to learn. What does that mean? It means we're gonna learn how to make a combat system with a sword. With our own sword, of course. And I think that should be cool though. Let's see what it does to the Roblox Studio when we trying to make it, okay? So yeah, before we start, I'm gonna install the Figma first. Oh no, I'm gonna log in it from my, go back and try again, login Figma with Google, of course, here's and that. On the desktop app, yes please. Okay, welcome to Figma. Welcome to Figma, everybody. FL only FL design software development. A few times. Oh, Figma got a lot of template in here, I see. Okay, I see a lot of template in here, but yeah, at least it's done. Okay, we're done people. Okay, let's start doing some combat system in here, but before that I want to watch some bro dev video, okay, to watch the tutorial of learning Roblox. Where is it? I need to learn it from my best tutor in the world, which is BrowDev. Okay, maybe this will help. Let's see. The last thing I watched was, I forgot though. What the first thing I watched? The last thing I watched in BrowDev advanced scripting, I forgot. Okay, you know what? Let's see. Just let's see, okay? Advanced.
Hey, thanks for stopping.
This one, tools, yeah, I already know. Maybe these things, I'm really confused about how the remove debris and destroy works. Like, I need to learn it. Of course.
Alright, let's think about this for a minute. So, I just quickly created something that it ended up eat anymore. I'll part into delete this and the number change. So
okay,
after about 6
for the
seconds,
remove
as
statement,
you can see, the
destroy statement,
multiple.
I'm just gonna watch it like this because I already watched this video though, but I still not understand what the debris do in this video.
This is not a good idea. Let's see what happens when we actually do decide to have a wait statement and then destroy. Let's see, spawn in a coin using calling this function here in our while true do statement. It creates a new coin. It sets that new coin's parent to workspace and
wait, new coin destroy. Then
it's going to wait 5 seconds before destroying this new coin. But wait.
Okay, the logic of this code is simple, right? You just make a function about spawn coin that will be put in the last statement in here, and it will make the coins positioning it. Nih, this is the reason why I'm so confused in Roblox scripting. It's because the math of it. I still confused, bro. On God, man. Until now, I still don't understood what the fuck is this, man. Like rod velocity. What's this? What's this? What is this, bro? New coin rod velocity. Velocity was like velocity, you know, fast, maybe something like that. I don't understood. Vector dot new rod velocity touch if parents blah 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 script dot arpego play. Okay, I think that the sound, and then new coin was destroyed. What? Okay, the coin destroy. Wait 5 seconds and then destroy the coins. Whoa, I feel so stupid learning this. I don't know. Position. Math random. Coin zone. Blah 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 blah. New coins parents games.workspace. So the parents was the workspace itself, and then rod velocity. Coin model. Creating clone of the model part using a clone statement in here. I don't know why he used a clone statement in here, because yeah, I never know about this function in here, but it does do coin model. Oh, it makes the coins to clone it, and then when it clones it, reposition it. It will make a position. Coin zone dot position plus coin zone. What is the coin zone mean in here? Coin zone. Oh, it will makes the coin zone, the coin zone itself. It means these things, right? This is the coin zone, and then it will set the position plus set a new vector of it by a math random. Coin zone means coin zone dot size. Math random position of the clone in the coin zone. How to I don't know how to make this. Coin zone position, it will be set the boundaries of the coins, maybe it's something like that, and then it will add a vector 3.new. It means it will text the random place of x, y, and z minus coin zone dot size from minus to plus, maybe something like that though, like dot size. I mean, like if you're talking about size, it means the size of the what? This coin zone minus coin zone dot size dot x minus 2. I don't understand this. The math. I mean, like, did he ever teach us about the math properties in here? I mean, like, I forgot how he explained the math properties in Roblox Studio. Math statement, scooping, operator, loops, breaks, even, first child, random, fire stats, table front. Okay. Math that random. I mean, like, how can I? Okay, so can you help me find the video, YouTube, or maybe documents about a function of math in Roblox scripting? Please give me the video or documents of it so I can learn all of that. Roblox Math Library documentation. Yep. This one. Holy. It's a lot though. Yeah, I'm gonna rate this one by one. Mod.random YouTube tutorial. Random generator. Number. Math function. Okay. Let me see the search. Here. Okay. Okay. Maybe I should learn this. Yeah. Apps, number, echoes, 18, tangan. I know about this. Apps, it's absolute number maybe. Cosine, degree, Boolean number. Certain x for the positive one. Damn, the math in this game is so crazy though. The math properties in here. Number, huge, pi, square, tau, ups. The return of absolute value of x. Number. Parameter x equals number, the returns was number. So the value of x. Okay. A cosine of x. Okay, number of value, the number of it could be a degree, right? A sin, return a sin, a tan to arctan. Is an arctan of YC ingredients, well, symbols will matter in result. Number, okay. Okay. Math degree, it will make a degree of something maybe. Return of the value, math floor. What's math floor? I don't understood. Return of Riemann division of y z. Okay. Parameter is division. Constant towards 0. Okay. 3 xp and times. I mean, it's 4 times, right? It's infinite Boolean, true or false, right? Math infinite x equals Boolean, it could be true or false. Return of x positive, negative, infinity, and false otherwise. Parameter is numbers, booleans. Return of x positive, negative, infinity. Math huge is none. The return of x is not none, otherwise ideal xp number. Enter interpolasi. Oh, this one. Yeah. Okay. Number, starting value, b per starting value, log. Oh, there's a log in here. Log 10. Okay. X map in map returns max. Parameters mean negatively. I guess. Mod F, return number into integral parts, fractional. Number, noise, pow, red, random. Okay, it will make a random number. I mean, I forgot just things. Maybe it should be works. And then sine, ha, squared root of x. tan properties number huge none pi pi square 2 tau. That's all for math properties in here. Let me see the library though. A table vector task contains string debug vector create dot floor ups max min 0 1. Okay, I mean, like, I want to learn about the math though, because I love math just a little bit. Properties, API reference function of apps, absolute value of apps, k equals k number. Math in Roblox Studio. I need to be nerd. How to make a part of moving spiral circles concern tutorial. 10 minutes tutorial. Query programs method claim. Wow, there's a lot of them. Where there is my face in here? Why? Where there is my face in here? It's kinda disturbing though. Why? Tables. Okay, math library. Let's see the basic of it.
I'll start to teach you everything you need to know about Math Library in 5 minutes. There's a wonderful thing we have here in the world. It's called the Math Library. To access it is really simple. Just type math and then a dot, and then we can see a list of all the wonderful things you can. I'm going to go through some of the simple and more common ones. Speaking of simple, we use math.abs in right parentheses. I'm just going to print these all out so you can see what they actually do. Whatever number we write in here, it'll give us the absolute value. So if we write in 7, absolute value of 7 is 7. Because it is 7, means it's away from 0. The absolute value is just how far away it is from 0. It's more useful for like negative numbers to assure that you get a positive number. Negative 21 is 21 away from 0. Also keep in mind that for any of these, and anything that takes in a number in general, we can do calculations in here. Anything that boils down to a number, we can add in here. And as long as it boils down to a number, it'll give us an answer. Another one is math.floor. This is used to round down any number that you give it. What is 5.7 rounded down? It is 5. What is 5.2 rounded down? It is 5. And what is 5.5 rounded down? It is also 5. Then it rounds down to the nearest whole number. And if you're rounding down to all of these 5 and something, you can just get rid of the decimal and that's range. Alternatively, we also have math.seal, which rounds up to the nearest whole number. So 5.5 rounds to 6. 5.2 rounds to 6, and 5.7 of course also rounds to 6. But what if you just want a regular round? Well, just write round. And now, let's see what happens when we do 5.7. Round it to the nearest whole number, up or down, it rounds to 6. 5.2 rounds down to 5. And what about 5.5? It's right in the middle. What's going to happen? It rounds to 6. 5 and above, give it a shove. Math.rad takes in whatever you give it and converts it into a radian. Remember before how we used the c-frame.equals? If we wanted to convert this into a radian, we don't have to think of, oh, what is 45 degrees in radians? We can just write math.rad 45. It'll automatically convert it into a radian for us. Whatever that is. So you can use this inside your c-frame.angles instead of trying to figure out what something is as a radian. And alternatively, we could use math.degree to turn any radian into a degree. For example, let me see how close 3.14 is to 180 degrees. It's pretty close. It's almost 180 exactly. Two other cool ones I thought to show you was min, which we give it a list of numbers, let's say 70, 85, 2, 3, 4, 2, negative 6, and maybe 21, 21. So we give it a list of numbers that bring like comma, and it's gonna return the lowest one amongst all the numbers. Negative 6 is the lowest one. And if you do dot max,
it returns the highest number amongst these numbers. And you can see how that can be useful. It's pretty cool. Again, you can use any of these math things wherever it takes the number out.
That's all? Okay.
Agents ya. Jadi mindsetnya tuh selalu bekerja secara buatin kursus 5 coding kayaknya nggak bakal guys. Itu 10 tahun lagi ya, buat kursus 5 coding 10 tahun lagi guys. Aku malas bikinnya. Aku lebih suka bikin aja sih guys, daripada ngajarin orang. Maksudnya intentionally ngajarin orang tuh malas gitu.
Let's continue again. Oh, let's see. I want to make a combat system. Sheesh. Part 1. How many part, bruh? What?
Alright, so first video I didn't press record, so it's gonna be the second time. This video should be around 40 minutes, and it's gonna show you like the basics of how to make a comment system. And that's pretty much it. I'm also gonna show you how Roblox works in general, how Roblox Studio works, and how it's sort of an object-oriented type of compiler to the system. So yeah. So first things first, let's look at the starter character. So if we play the game, we'll notice that workspace, which is the whole thing over here, has an object called me. This is your character. So if you open your character, these are all the children of that character. Vice versa, the children, this is the parent of the child. So the root part is a child of my character. So, another thing we want to note is starter character scripts. Anything, and I mean anything that you put in here, is going to be replicated to your character. So let's make a folder called core, right? This can be for organization type of references. So if you play a game, you'll notice that your character automatically has a folder called core. So you might be thinking, okay, there's something called starter player scripts here too. So yes, it does the same exact thing. If we add a folder here called starter player scripts, or I'm not gonna name it that, something like that, play the game. If you look at your player, you open player scripts, you'll see a folder in there called whatever brain rot that is. So let's get started with the actual scripting portion. We'll call this inputs. You can call this whatever you want. So let's first thing I want to note for y'all is comments. 2 dashes equals a comment, so you can write whatever you want here. You can't do it once you enter a new line. In order to do that, we want 2 dashes and a little letter beside the key. So we want to do that twice, 1, 2, and then you can press enter. Anything within this little white space here you can type. So you can test, doesn't matter. It's useful for commenting for other people and yourself to know just how the script works in general, what function does what. So let's call this core at the client. Now, the first thing I want to emphasize for y'all is the supreme usefulness of documentation. So you'll notice that for pretty much every comment system, well, a good one, you can hold your left mouse button to go to punch. So to do that, we'll use something called run service. Right here. So one thing I want you to note too is the difference between events and properties, or events and methods. So events will always have a period following their column, and methods will always have two double dots. So let's define your variable called run service, and let's look at the events called render stepped. So you see that it gives you a little description.
Render steps.
Fires every frame prior to the frame being rendered. So this is good because now we can actually detect continuously if there's holding the left mouse button. So we can say run service dot, which is an event, render step. After every event, it's going to be a muscle memory to do it for like a while, but you always have the connect function, open parentheses, and whatever like the arguments that the default roblox function has for you, which in this case we call delta time. It does not need to be called this. You can call it DT, AB, some brain rot, but in this case we just use delta time. Another thing you can note is annotations. So this tells Roblox that this type of argument is a number. You can call it as a string, is a boolean, but in this case it's going to be number. So now we want to also look at a service called user input service. Every single game ever uses input service. So if we look at a method and we slow down called is mouse button pressed, it conveniently has a way for you to check if the mouse button is pressed, and it returns whatever, doesn't matter. The documentation has it all for you. So we can say we have to define the service first. So, and then we can say if user service is mouse button pressed, a method once again, so in double dots, enum.user type mouse button 1. Even if you don't know what enums are, user types are, documentation tells you. It tells you exactly what enums are, default values, etc., etc., etc. So you can say this, and you can say print. Obviously, you know what prints are. So print clients left click. So we play the game. If we left click or hold down left click, we can see that it prints it up. And if I let go, it stops printing. All from what? 4 lines.
Oh,
So I don't know.
maybe later ya. Not today, because I gotta finish the other stuff. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna continue watching Brawl again.
Hey, thanks for stopping by.
White spawn
Hey,
delay.
thanks for stopping by. In this episode of my Roblox Advanced Scripting tutorial series, I'm going to be going over Roblox's task scheduler, and it's the functions that they've provided to us to be able to use inside of our games. Not only that, but I will be showing how to use these functions and when to actually use these functions inside of your game. So with that being said, to understand what I'm talking about, let's jump straight into an example. Alright, let's think about this for a minute. So over here, I basically made some parts that represents tasks, and alongside it, I have a bunch of other parts that represents the functions that we're going to be using that's provided to us with the task schedule. So I want you to look at these tasks and imagine them being inside of a script. So we have the very first task that's going to be the first thing that executes whenever we write a script, and then we have this be the first thing that runs. So let's say inside of our script, we have task 1, and then we have task 2 that executes right after task 1 is over. These two tasks will run one after another once the first task is done and the second one's done. But what if we want to add more control to when these tasks actually do run? One of the ways to do it is use a wait statement here, in which we basically just like put this right in between task 1 and task 2, where we call in the wait function and give it like a random number of seconds to wait, where we're literally telling the script to stop what it's doing before running task 2 or anything else that's after the wait statement. There's also other things like delay, and this would primarily be used if we want something to run inside of the script after a specific amount of time, and we can continue running stuff in the meantime while we wait for the task to actually begin. So if I bring in task 3 down here, then what's going to happen is task 1 is going to run first, and then task 3, and then as soon as the delay is finished with task 2, that's when it's going to run. So it's going to go from 1 to 3 and then to 2. And let's say we want to actually cancel this delay. We would just take the cancel function and we would just kind of, there's also other things like if we want to run 2 tasks at the same time, we would use the spawn function and also defer. But that's a little more complicated to explain, so I'll just explain that roughly through scripting. But I kind of hope that this little analogy helped bring awareness to what we're going to be doing inside of our scripts. At least I hope so. But with that being said, let's actually start scripting this stuff. Now that we understand it a little bit, let's start scripting. So on the right side with the Explorer, let's click on the plus sign for server script service, and we're going to insert a script. Let's delete this, and let's represent our tasks from the example that I showed you. So in the comments, we'll do a double dash, and we'll say task 1, and then we'll drop 2 lines, and then we'll make another comment by saying task 2. So let's make these 2 tasks actually do something. So for task 1, let's make a print statement by saying print, and then in parentheses, we're going to, let's say, print before. And then for task 2, let's print after. And so now we have these 2 tasks that we want to execute. But in order to control the flow of when we actually want to execute these tasks, we'll be using some functions given to us by the task scheduler to make that happen. And the first thing I will introduce to you is task.wait. So let's just drop 2 lines here, and then in the center here at line 4, let's type in task.wait. And then inside of these parentheses, this takes in a number value, which indicates how many seconds we want the script to basically freeze until we continue execution with whatever's going on down here. So let's put in 3 seconds of execution time, and let's see what happens with the script. So let's go back into the game, let's hit test, and we're actually not going to hit play, we're just going to click the drop down and hit run because we don't need our character to be in the game for us to actually test this. So let's hit run and see what happens in the output. So before is immediately printed, and then after about 3 seconds, that's when after printed inside of the output, as you can see down here. So yeah, very self-explanatory. Task.wait, it basically just tells the script to stop what it's doing and wait for however many seconds we put into here before continuing execution with the rest of the script. So the next function I'll introduce is task.delay. And pretty much how this works is that
What?
we want to execute a task, but we don't want the script to actually stop what it's doing before executing what we needed to execute. This can be something that can happen in the background after we wait a certain amount of time and then execute. To show you what I mean, inside of our task.wait, let's actually comment this out so that, you know, the script is not affected by it because we don't need to use it anymore. Let's drop a line here and let's put in comments task 3. So this is going to be the third task that we're going to run using our delay function. So let's drop another line, and what we'll say here is task.delay. And the way the syntax here works is that this actually takes in 2 arguments. So the first one is however many seconds we want this task to delay before actually executing. So we're going to put in a time of, let's say, 5 seconds, and then we put a comma here, and we have to call in a function that will, you know, be our next task that we're going to create. You can either create a new function with this argument, or you can pass in a function that you already created beforehand, but let's just create a new function. So let's say function, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, enter, and now let's make another print statement. So we'll say print, and then inside of here, we will say after times 2. Essentially what we're telling the script to do is to run the first task, which is before, and we will tell the script to delay execution of this line for 5 seconds first. And in the meantime, it will run everything else that's inside of the script. So it will run task 2, and then after 5 seconds is over, it'll run the third task. So let's go into the game, hit run, and we should see this inside of the output. So before and after was printed at the exact same time, and then after 5 seconds, that's when after times 2 was executed. Because, like I mentioned, task.delay does not pause the script execution like wait does. We only use delay if we want to run something after a specific amount of time without affecting anything else that comes after it. Okay, now let's say we have a delay function here, but what if we don't want to execute what's currently inside of this delay anymore? In case like something happens, in case like something in the game or inside the script has changed its conditions, and we don't want this delay to affect the script anymore because we don't need it, then we will use a function called cancel. The first thing we're going to do before actually calling cancel is wrapping this entire delay inside of a variable. So before task.delay, let's create a new variable called local, and we will call this delay task equals. So now we've pretty much wrapped this entire task.delay block of code inside of our variable. Let's make a condition to where I'll put this up for chance by picking a random number, and if the random number is the number that I pick it, then we're going to cancel the task. We're going to pick a random number from 1 to 2. So we'll say local random number equals math.random, and inside of here, our minimum value will be 1, and our maximum value will be 2. And let's write an if statement by saying if random number, we will see if random number equals 1. So there's a 50-50 chance of whether this is going to execute or not. Then, inside of here, we will say task.cancel, and we will throw in our delay task variable. And let's also write a print statement down here to let us know that the random numbers were picked. The random number has been picked. So let's go and hit run and see what the odds are. So as you can see, it looks like I got lucky. So the random number has been picked, meaning that we canceled our delay task. So it's been about 5 seconds, and I don't see any after times 2 printed down here. That's because we effectively canceled the task that we no longer want to use it. And so if we try this again, then hopefully we should see the other results. So yeah, after times 2 has been printed, because we still have a 50-50 chance of whether this task will actually run. This is a very specific example. When you're using this in an actual Roblox game, it's probably going to look a lot different, but the idea is still pretty much the same. The next function I'll show you is task.spawn. It's basically used if you want 2 tasks to execute at the exact same time of execution. I find the most use out of task.spawn when I'm working with loops, and I will show you why. So let's actually delete this middle section here, since we're not really going to be using this anymore. And I'll also delete this task.wait statement. We don't really need that anymore either. And I will rename this to task 2 and task 3. So we'll create 2 for loops that will just print out random stuff. So let's start with the first loop by saying for I equals 1, comma 10 do. So we're basically going to run a task from 1 to 10. So whatever we put down here is going to execute 10 times. And inside of here, we will write a print statement by saying print for loop 1. And then down here, let's write our next task. So we'll actually call this task 3, and after will be task 4. So down here, we will write another for loop by saying for I equals 1, 10, do, and we will write print for loop 2. So it looks like loop 1 executed first. Like the entirety of loop 1 executed first before going on to execute loop 2. I would say this is pretty useful if you just want to work with one loop and then immediately go to the next one after that. But what if we wanted to run these 2 for loops simultaneously, or just any loops in general? Task.spawn gives us the power to be able to do that. So instead of having one for loop, let's make this into a while loop instead. So let's delete our first for loop, and we're going to create a variable that will be our condition for our while loop. So we will say local is looping equals true. And then down here we will write while is looping do, and then we will print while loop task.wait. You can actually not put a number inside of here. You could just say open parentheses and close parentheses and not put anything in there. Roblox will just put in a very, very small number for you if you didn't put in a number. And we'll do the same thing for down here inside of our third task. So we'll drop a line and then we'll say task.wait here as well. And then after this for loop, let's set is looping to false. That way, once this for loop is done, then we're going to set the is looping variable to false. That way we know to actually stop this while loop at the same time. Now you might think, okay, well, where is task.spawn? I didn't write task.spawn yet because I want you to see what happens before I implement that. So let's go into the game and hit run and see what happens. So as we can see, while loop is constantly being printed every like millisecond or some really small number. It's continuously inside of an indefinite while loop because this loop is going to continuously run as long as is looping is equal to true. But we said down here that after we printed this loop 10 times, we're going to set is looping to false. But the issue is this loop is always going to run as long as is looping is set to true. And because that's the case, we're never going to come down here to run task 3 and make is looping false. That's why we need to run these 2 loops simultaneously so that we can get the result that we want. So let's hit stop. And now let's finally wrap our while loop inside of a task.spawn function. So after our is looping, let's drop 2 lines and we'll say task.spawn. And inside of these parentheses, it takes in one argument, which is a function. Now again, we're just going to create this function directly by saying function, and then open parentheses, close parentheses, hit enter, we'll just take our code that was over here on the outside, we'll right click, cut, select this, right click, paste. So now that this is wrapped inside of a task.spawn function, supposedly this is going to run as well as our for loop. So that way it can actually go from 1 to 10, and then it will stop the loop whenever we need to. So let's go into the game and then see our new change. As you can see, the while loop successfully kept printing the while loop print statement, and it also kept printing the for loop 10 times. And then as soon as the for loop was done, that's when is looping was set to false. And that's what caused the while loop to stop, because now is looping was set to false. So that's the power of using task.spawn to be able to primarily work with multiple loops at the same time. At least that's generally what I use task.spawn for. And so this is just something very powerful that I highly encourage you to use inside of your scripts. And the last function I'll be teaching in this episode is task.defer. And before I explain it, let's actually write it down first. So let's get rid of task 3, and we'll also get rid of task 2. All right, and so now the way the syntax works is that we're going to say task.defer, and the only argument here is a function. And like usual, we're going to create a function inside of this argument. So we'll say function, open close parentheses, enter, and now let's print inside of here, print defer. That's what we're going to say here. And now for task 3, let's create a big for loop that will print out like 10,000 lines of code. So we're going to say for I equals 1, 10,000 do, and we're going to say print for loop 1. So now that we have our task.defer and our third task, which will be a for loop, let's actually break down what task.defer actually does. So we've gone over task.spawn, which simultaneously runs 2 tasks. We've gone over wait, that tells the script to literally stop before executing the rest of the code. We even told it to delay execution with a specific function, so it can do whatever it needs to do before it actually executes the delay function. But now we're going to look into defer, which basically says that you can run this block of code once everything else has been executed, and so it's not going to interfere with data throttling or any other problems that might occur during. Script. Defer basically tells the script that you can make this the last task that executes in the code. It's not a huge priority, but we're still going to do the task regardless. It's just it'll pick the best time to be able to print out defer without interfering with the script. So let's see what happens if we go into the game and hit run. So it's lagging a little bit because we're printing 10,000 different things. So as you can see, it ran before, and then it skipped this part, it skipped task 2, and it went into task 3 right away by printing out 10,000 lines, and then it printed out after. So once everything was executed, it then went into deferred and did what it needed to do inside of here. So I guess you could say this is very similar to delay, where we gave it a specific number of seconds before executing what was inside of on. Usually, Roblox provided us a task scheduling library filled with functions that we can use to control when we execute tasks inside of our script. The first function being task.wait, which is probably the most commonly used one. The most commonly used function, which completely pauses the script before continuing any other task that comes after. The second one is task.delay, which delays a specific task after a certain amount of time has been given. And then there's task.cancel, which cancels a delay in case conditions change where we don't need the delay anymore. The fourth function is task.spawn, and this is mostly used with loops to be able to simultaneously run multiple loops at the same time. And then the last function, which is the least commonly used one, called task.defer, which basically prioritizes what tasks matter more than others during execution. So an example of this would be getting a table of all the players inside of the game and updating their player stats to be able to efficiently update them in the most optimal way. Now, there are other concepts to handle multi-threading, like coroutines, but we're not going to go over that in this episode because coroutines are a little more
block,
but you do have more power in control flow and threading with your scripts. So in the future, I will make an episode on that. But this episode serves as an intro to threading by using Roblox's task library. And so that's where I'm going to leave it off here. Be sure to join my Discord. The link is in the description. But apart from that, I hope to see you in the next episode. Take care.
Look at Brain has been completely rebuilt. Meet Brain 2. Now, work is easy. All I have to do is
Hey, thanks for stopping by. We're going to be creating a bunch of stuff that correlates to server and client communication so that we can create systems that allows us to have this button. Essentially,
Kemana distribusinya? Ikutin orang saja. Saya memakai buat selling shit furniture because so long get off the back fucking ass and athlete. What fucking architect?
In Semarang, we don't say, oh, you're absolutely right. No, yeah. But they say, in Semarang.
Usually, when I press this button, it communicates to the server to check whether I have 50 coins or not. And if it
fucking hell. Welcome again to the new scripting. We start for scripting and we play some task one. Well, I equals to 1 to 1000. Do friends. Hura hura.
Hey, thanks for stopping. And so let's block it. If you want to, and then after this.
Running on, and then so the task.spawn is refers to function, right? No. Okay, let me make this in here. Oh, we make local loop is equal to true, and then this is loop. So text.wipe, and then we do task2 where it's if I equals to 1 to 100 to then loops print generated, then we do some loop equals to false.
This full set.
Oh yeah, 4. Maybe I use 4. I equals to 100 do what? Dooby dooby dum dum dooby dooby dum. loops 2. And then after that we do some loops equals to false. Okay, let's see. What's the rate? Of course, yes.
Oh, so that's
Okay, you got the dead check, bruh. Holy shit! Look at that! It's 1 by 1. It's okay. I see. So I want to make some project while running Roblox Studio. Help me make a project step by step from the easiest to hard while running the scripting. Okay, let's see what it does. What's tutorial? Blah 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 blah. It's done. OB done. Coin rush arena. Coins spawn randomly, player rest, collect them, learn math random. Spawn point, folders, tables. Okay. Maybe this. Okay. Coin rush arena. Coins spawn randomly, player rest to collect them and method random. Spawn points, folders, and tables. Okay. Damage player, kill player, leaderboard skill, tower defense light. Okay, this is a good things maybe. Simulator, upgrade, rebirths, learn tycoon dropper, multiplayer survival, run random maps, winner system, skill timeline. Why does this function exist? Most people skip this question. Keep doing that, but whenever you see the roblox function, ask what information do I have, what information do I need. For the next project, I recommend the coin rush arena, where you need to learn about math.random smart points function, cooldowns, tables. Okay, maybe the math.random is kinda interesting to learn. Yeah, maybe. I want to make a gacha system though. Maybe after this and okay. After coin rush, I want to make gacha system. Like path gacha. Learning blah 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 blah. Okay. Coin rush. Let's continue. Again, people. Okay. Function loops. Next, that's coin rush. Met random spawn location. Spawning and tables. We back again to tables, maybe. And then some collect random coins, the basic gacha. Coin rush. Math dot random. Roblox Studio. Learning session, basic math. Blah 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 blah. What is? My face is everywhere, bro. Look at that.
Welcome back to my Roblox beginner scripting tutorial series. My name is Brawl and Sit. We have about a friend and we're trying to hide errors. Something that's important to know about when it comes to game development on Roblox, leaving stuff up to chance and adding randomization to it. And so that's what I'm going to be teaching you how to do inside of this episode, which is map.random. So what we're going to do is go on the right side of the Explorer, we're going to hit the plus sign and insert a script. We're going to call the script random, just like this, and we're going to hit enter. So I'm just going to delete this, and I'm also going to get rid of any additional tabs that we're not going to be using. Okay, so what is map.random? It's basically a function that Roblox has given to us that can return a random number within a range that we provided. So the way this is going to be structured is we're first going to make a random number variable. So we're just going to say local random number, just like this. And we're going to set this equal to map. So it's going to look like this. Map is basically the library that we're going to be using that has the random function. So then we're going to say dot random, and this is all in lowercase too. So once we do this, then we're going to put open close parentheses. And inside of here, it takes two numbers. So it has a range with a minimum value and a maximum value. So whatever minimum value we give it and whatever maximum value we give it, Roblox is going to pick a number between that range and it's going to return it to the random number variable as we have over here. So let's make the minimum value, let's say 1, and then we're going to separate this with a comma for the second argument, which is going to be a 6. And 6 is included with this as well, so it is going to pick a number between 1 and 6. And so what we're going to do down here is drop a line, and we're going to print the random number just like this. So whenever we join into the game, and
I know the basic of this, bro. Come on. Next one, please.
We're colored number. We can see some numbers. This code that we explain the while loop by saying this is what's called an infinite while loop, and generally I don't recommend using this because this is going to run throughout the entire duration of the game, since this conditional is always going to be true. But just a variables for the green value equals 5 and the dot red value when we're changing the color value of color3 dot from RGB open and close parentheses, and then what we're going to put inside of here is the red value, comma, green value, comma, blue value, just like this. So this takes a color3 object, and we're passing in the 3 color values that we created randomly with map.random. And in order to see these changes, what we're going to do is put in a wait statement, and we need to make sure we do this. Otherwise, this is going to execute very, very quickly, and it's going to crash our script. So we need to put in a task.wait for, let's say, about 2 seconds. And now we go change in every single time that 2 seconds have, every 2 seconds, they consist of if we let's minimum values 2 per and brackets by the end here equals empty because and the maximum value random. So that's basically going to be it for this episode. For today's learning objective, I want you to play.
Nice, visible. Right. How to resize in Roblox Studio. Recasting. What is recasting?
Hi guys, I'm Luke. Create two parts. If we put that in bring the direction.
What the fuck?
Shit out of via Firework, we reskinned this game as a new game yesterday and another day before that, and it still is not. I mean, we launched it last night. What can you expect? I think we need a new icon though that looks less AI. Maybe people were right. Maybe you were right. It looks too AI. Okay, fine. If it looks too AI, let's make it look less AI. Redo the bacon hair. He looks too AI and his expression is stupid as hell. Okay, here we go. How many viral games did you make before? How many games did you make before one of them went viral? Bro, I didn't even say on this stream title I've even had a viral game. All right, we're trying to build one. I had one back in the past that was okay, like decently viral. I had several. I took a lot of games. I mean, I was building Roblox games for years before I ever had a game hit a million visits. We have games hit millions of visits in the group Jimmy Games. I talk about this all the time. Basically, we made simple meme games, stupid games like Poop Land and Sussy Imposter Land, but they made it so for like 30 grand, $30,000. That's like, what, several million Robux. Let's see. But those times have passed. Now I'm trying to beat my own records. So that's why we stream for like 12 hours a day, sit monsters, try to actually grind out a game, try to pretend to be productive at least on these streams. Wow, you made it look even, still not Roblox. I'm not blowing up yet. Maybe it's because the game's icon sucks. Maybe it's just another icon that sucks. Damn it. Okay, that's a really low CTR. We saw even a higher CTR because the Roblox ad has to learn. Let's see this right here. It's a learning.
How much you spend?
Which means that basically when you run a Roblox ad, that sucker's gonna farm data from your players like you farm money from their pockets. Okay. My CTR. Says CTR. Now, what? Several million Robux. Let's see. But those times have passed. Now I'm trying to beat my own records. So that's why we stream for like 12 hours a day. Upset monsters. Try to act.
This guy is making some money from doing all of this stuff.
Totally got that. And I think
Full stack developer. It's crazy.
I said, but okay. Can you make games with AI without touching anything on the game without prompting AI? Yes, but I choose not to because it's slow as shit. Like, I don't like be a turtle simulator in real life. I'll make the game with AI, but I ain't gonna be a damn snail. Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, let's continue again. Learning all this stuff again. I need to learn the basic though. If I don't learn the basic, I will never know how to solve all this shit. Fuck. Okay. Just keep going. Yeah. What should I do though? I mean, like a coin rush. The concept of it was like match.random spawn location, respawning, and tables. Let me rewatch the tables again. Tables. Roblox Studio. Yeah, this tables means.
Welcome back to my Roblox beginner scripting tutorial series. My name is Braldev, and if you've made it this far into the series, well, first of all, shout out to you for making it this far. But second, I have good news for you. This is the final new concept we're going to be learning inside of this tutorial guide. And I'm going to go more into detail about this later, but essentially in the next episode after this one, we're going to...
Pairs used to iterate through the dictionary. Pairs use a iterate through array only. It's because element is array and numerical order while the dictionary is unordered. I don't think they make a clear, so yes, iterate through the dictionary. Can you explain this? This stuff. This. Spain. Pairs is array list of item where each item automatically assign numerical index starting from 1. How it works? Pairs stand for index pairs. An index starts in 1 and it goes subsequently. 2, 3, 4. A catch. Stealing idea where stand for index start from 1 to 2 to 3. So example, local fruits blah 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 for index value in pairs fruits, print index fruits plus 2. Dictionary unorder. Dictionary doesn't use number in order, instead you define specify key. What? Super girl 24. Okay. For key value, pairs inventory, print key value, pairs array numerical limits strict to sequence order, and pairs dictionary custom key unordered or random. So if I want to make a coins random, I have to use pairs in it, not pairs, because pairs is for orderly. Okay, checks every time completely in the numerical order, unordered random. Okay, because I generally use pairs on dictionary with the text bit with result group not running. So index A finds nothing. Okay. So for the pairs, it's only for, yeah, I understood a little bit though, not too much, but just a little bit. I want to make some triangle. Anyway, okay, yeah. Control B and this like that. Can someone explain why the husband will teleport different place, position? Okay. Must click. Word. Hey guys, I got a proper method. Even doesn't mean finding as well. Alright, I'm using pivot to can we make one sticker? It's kinda crazy, bro. Still a long way to go. These people kinda crazy. Ah. I have to see the first one of this.
This video is intended for those who do not know what functional hooking is. I suppose you must be familiar with some. Great. Now, one thing that you have probably realized by now is that, despite having a few things in common, these languages also have lots of differences. I'm not talking about differences in syntax. Syntax doesn't matter. I'm talking about semantics, the meaning and behavior of each program. Let's take C. You may know that C doesn't have classes or objects, unlike C++, Java, and Python. We say that C is an imperative language, since its instructions are shaped like commands, and thus it is procedural, since it is based on procedure calls, usually improperly referred to as function calls. I'm sure some of you will disagree about the improperly, but I'm also sure that you all know that procedure means different things in different contexts. Sometimes it's used to denote a piece of code that does not return.
You know what? Let's just making some place in here.
And a value, as opposed to a
We'd be taking everything we've learned and putting it all into our first game. Going to be using open drop a line just like this. We'll make a print statement, and then what we're going to do is, let's say we want to access the first value inside of here. Then what we're going to do is first write down the array just like this, say my array. And then we're going to add in open and close hard brackets just like this. So it kind of looks like a square just like this. Because what we're going to put inside of here is a positional value that's going to essentially look through the table, finds the value that's inside the position, and then it's going to return. So in this case, we're going to look at position 1. So this is what we're going to put inside of here. So it's going to go through the table, and it's going to look through position 1, and it's going to return 10, and it's going to print that. So if we go into the game, hit test, and hit play, then what we should see in the output is the number 10, because the array was successfully able to look for whatever value is inside of position 1. And we can do the same thing with, I don't know, position 3, and if we go to the game and hit play, then it's going to return true, because that's what was in the third position. I hope this is making sense so far, and this is how we're essentially able to access and use arrays inside of our game. Now, what if we wanted to print out every single value that's inside of this array? Well, we're basically just going to use a for loop. So what I'm going to do is comment out this print statement. I'm going to drop 2 lines, and then we're going to make a for loop. So what we're going to do is say for, and then we can call this counter variable the index, just like this. And we're going to set this equal to the first position of the array, which is always going to be 1. And then we're going to space this out with a comma. And then the max value is going to be the number of elements that are inside of our array, which in this case is going to be 4. Now, we could say 4, but there's actually a better way of doing this, because what if we change the value of this every single time? Oh, by the way, I forgot to hit stop. My apologies on that. If we were to add another value really quickly, just like this, then this is going to be 5 elements instead of 4, and we're going to have to constantly come back and update this value every single time. So there's actually a better way of doing this that can automatically update the end value for however many elements we have inside of here, and that is called using a hashtag symbol or a pound symbol. So what it's going to look like is basically this, and we're going to put down my array. So essentially what's happening here is we're taking the array and we're using a hashtag or pound symbol before it to basically give us the number of elements that are inside of this array. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 elements inside of here, so this is going to return 4. So that's a better way of getting the number of elements inside of an array is by doing it like this. So then we're going to say do, and then we're going to enter. Now we're going to make a print statement, and we're going to access my array just like this, and then inside of the hard brackets, we're going to put down the index, because it starts at 1, and then once we go down this iteration, it's going to update this index to 2, and then it's going to go to the second one, and then the third one, and then the fourth one, and then it's going to print out every single one. So if you go to the game, hit play, then what we should see is every single value inside of the array being printed just like so, because that is how we iterate through all of the elements within an array. Okay, but this is how we print all the elements inside of an array using a for loop. But why can't we just print the array itself? So if I were to delete this and then just print out my array. There are a lot of technical reasons behind doing it like this, but if I were to show you what this looks like, if we go to the game and hit play, then it's going to show a table with a hash value that's contained within it. Now again, this relates to a lot of backend stuff when it comes to creating objects and storing them inside of memory within the game, and I don't want to go into those technical details right now, but basically what you need to know is you can't print the array itself because the array is a table object. So it's not going to print out whatever's contained in the table itself, since we're just going to have to go through every single element in the array to print them individually instead. So that's just something quick I wanted to add, and that is basically the introduction to arrays. Now, Roblox has some very useful functions that can allow us to manipulate items in a table while the game is running. So if we were to, let's say, think of an example of when this would happen inside of an actual game, is if you were to unlock a pet inside of Pet Simulator X, or if you were to unlock a new aura inside of like an RMG game or something like that, then we have to add the new value to our inventory table. But that's like an oversimplified example I can give when it comes to those sorts of things. But the important thing we need to know about is being able to add and remove values from a table while the game is running. So I'm going to show you two methods that Roblox has for us within a infrastructure or a library that they have for us. So I'm just going to delete this piece of code over here. And we're first going to make a new table. So I'm going to say local my array equals, and then we're going to put in the open and close.
You know what? It's too much late. Okay, guys, maybe this is all for today. I feel tired though. Maybe I will continue again tomorrow morning. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the show. Thank you guys for day 4. I love you guys so much. Goodbye.